didn't take too long, did it? First fish of the day, not a big one, but it's a good start. First swim, second cast on the bread flake. So anyway, let's put this one back and get that bait back out again. But that bodes well for today, doesn't it? So if you have problems with the eyes on your rod on the quiver tip freezing up on a cold day like today, this stuff is excellent. I mean, you can just buy it from tackle shops or even off eBay. Just put a little drop of that on each of the eyes and it'll stop them from freezing up. It's absolutely essential when you're fishing in winter for the chub, using a quiver tip rod with little eyes on it. Fish number 2 on the bread flake again. Probably around £2, not going to weigh it, just put it straight back. Hopefully it's mum's out there somewhere. Well, we're getting bigger. Just moved to another spot. Just dropped a bit of bread flake under a tree. We've got a lovely high 3, I reckon. Lovely fish though, aren't they? The winter has begun. I'm starting to catch some nice chub. That's number 3 for the day. Not been fishing too long, so happy days. Let's get it back. See if we can get another one out of this hole, shall we? Lovely. So, another session, and it's a quite balmy winter's evening, 12 degrees, and I think the conditions are worth coming out for. See if we can get a barbel. I mean, I'd probably more like to get a chub in reality, but I think there's a good chance of a barbel. Haven't had one for quite some time, definitely due one. But anyway, let's see how it goes. Nice £5 chub. Cracking fish. Good fish to start with. It's a little bit warmer. The temperature of the river's gone up a little bit. The colour's starting to drop, and I think the river's pretty good. So I'm hoping that I might even get a barbel. But my word, happy to take a £5 chub any day. Lovely. That's a good start. Second cast of the day. Nice fat chub. 311. Not a big fish, but nice healthy looking fish. Excellent to be back on the rivers though after all that flooding. -2 degrees, so it's a bit fresh out here. But it goes to show these fish, these chub will feed in the worst of weathers really, as long as the river's in good nick. Happy days though, eh? Let's put it back and get that bait back out. Could be in for a decent day. Let's hope so. So those of you who haven't seen the rig that I use for my chub fishing with liquidized bread and flake, before. This is it. As a float stop and a Drennan ledger bead with a snap link on there. A couple more ledger stops. I use 2 because it helps to kick that hook length away from the bead and the feeder. I'm using a Drennan grip mesh. 20 gram is the one I tend to use most of the time. It covers most options, but I'll go smaller or I'll go bigger if I really need to. And I'm fishing on 8-pound mainline, and then I go down to a size 6 quarter wide gape or mixer hook and a big piece of flake, as you can see. Liquidized bread. I put a bit of garlic powder in my liquidized bread, and one of the reasons I like this rig so much is because you're using these float stops, you can easily adjust the length of the hook length, and you can also open or close the gap between the Drennan ledger bead, so it's a bolt rig, or the fish has got a little bit of room before it really feels any resistance. So it gives you a lot of options, and it's strong as well. Like I say, it's 8 pounds straight through to a size 6 hook. So those bigger chub that like to go for the big snags, you can put the brakes on and hopefully land them. Both these fish are coming on bread flake, by the way. Liquidized bed cage feeder. But yeah, so I've been fishing about an hour and I had a couple of fish. 4.15, just shy of that magic 5 pound mark, but put up a good scrap. I was fishing near a snag and he wanted to be in that snag, believe me. But anyway, let's put this cracking fish back, and maybe, just maybe, we'll find something a bit bigger, because it feels like it might be a good day after all this flooding. Lovely fish though, eh? I'm starting to pick up a few of these, so I'm going to move upstream a little bit. So like I said, it's been lovely to get back on the river after all this flooding, but this session has started strongly, but it's been a struggle for the last hour or so. I've only come down for a couple of hours, but yeah, a couple of swims back I was kind of plagued with smaller fish around about the pound mark. I had 4 of them out there, so I've had 6 fish, and it's time to call it a day. My hands are going to drop off, it's so goddamn cold, but looking forward to getting straight back out again as soon as possible, and hopefully we'll get some more of those nice big chub. Hello, and today you're joining me on a little chalk stream. I'm going to do a little bit of Grayling fishing. Can't see this on the camera, but I've been stood here for only, I don't know, 5 minutes, just chucking in the odd maggot. There's already a few fish down there taking the bait. There's actually a couple of big ones down there, big for this little stream anyway. And a 2 pound fish from here is a whopping great fish. 1.5 pounds is a very good fish. And anything over 1 pound is a pretty respectable fish to be catching out of here. So there's definitely a couple of fish down there that look closer to 2 than they do 1. So it's quite exciting to get here and to start seeing these fish like this straight away. I think it might be time to get a rod out. First fish of the day, and this is the inevitable little trout. Second fish of the day, little Grayling. So I've had a few trout and small Grayling. I finally got one a little bit better. Fish of 1 pound. Lovely fish. So got another one. Looks a little bit bigger than that pounder. Probably just shy of £1.5 pounds. I'm going to weigh it though. But look at these fish. There we go. Much better. 1.7. Such delicate fish. They look like they've gone belly up, but they're actually generally they're okay as long as you hold them the right way up. See if it's ready to go yet. Well, got another one, and it's another 1.7. Will it let me hold it? There we go. Lovely fish. Hopefully we can get something a little bit bigger. But I think £2 probably sort of the top of the range for this little chalk stream. But fish around £1.5 pound mark is really good work, I think. Anyway, let's put it back. Cute little fish, aren't they? Lovely. Sort of getting the bites towards the end of the trot now. Sort of shied off a bit. Oh, another little one. This one's probably just under £1. Pretty fish though, aren't they? Slippery fish is what they are. Probably a female because of the slightly smaller dorsal fin. It's the males that tend to have the really big ones. Yeah, they've definitely backed off because the bites are coming right at the end. Let's try casting right upstream. Got a bite. The thing is, the stream is also full of trout, so I'm not fishing on a spot where I've been trickling in the maggots. Frankly, it could be trout or grayling that's going to take the bait. So in terms of what tackle I'm using for these grayling on this little chalk stream today, I'm using a soft tipped Down Valley Specialist rod, 11 foot 12 ounce. You need a really sort of soft tip ready to deal with these grayling. They've got very soft mouths and you're using very small hooks. Size 4000 reel. I've got £5 main line and I'm fishing a Drennan loafer float, and I change that depending on the swim I'm in and the current. And then I've got an Olivet. In this case it's a 3 gram Olivet, I believe. And I prefer these ones. You can get all sorts of different ones, inline and hybrid, but I prefer these ones where you put the little rubbers on to little sticks. Because if I lose the Olivet during a fight, I can just simply replace the Olivet without having to re-tackle everything. And then that goes down to a small, this one's a Corum, sort of quick change swivel, sort of micro swivel. And then onto that I loop on a hooked nylon. I'm using a Drennan Silverfish hook in size 18 or 20. I start with the 18, and then when they start getting a bit fussy I move down to a size 20, and I think they're on the 18's on a 2.5 pound hook link, and the size 20 hooked nylon is on a 2 pound hook link. So like I say, I find that I do sometimes have to fine down a little bit to get the bites when they get a bit edgy, but very simple stuff. And I'm constantly changing the depth, and I'm constantly changing where that Olivet is on the main line to affect the drop of the normally single maggot hook bait that I'm using. Just keep changing until you get that maggot, that single maggot on the hook, flowing down the river in exactly the same way as all the loose offerings are. And you're just constantly feeding. Every couple of minutes I'm putting in 3 or 4 single maggots and dropping the float on top of them. So I'm not sure you're going to be able to see quite as well as I can, because I've got Polaroid glasses on, but I'll throw some maggots out. There's a shoal of a mixture of grayling and trout, but there's definitely a few nice grayling out there. There you go. I've just been trickling in the bait. And this new swim now for sort of 5-6 minutes. There's a few better ones just down the back there. The challenge is getting through the trout to some of those decent grayling that are down there. You can bet your bottom dollar it's going to be the trout that get to the bait first. I think let's put a rod in. See if we can get a grayling out here. I've got a third 1.7 from the same swim. Ooh. Nice. It's going to behave. Such beautiful fish there.
Really nice, mate.
Oh, hello. I think we'll put it back because they're pretty delicate.
Really nice.
Lovely fish though. I think that one will be a male because it's got a bigger dorsal fin.
Is that it?
Lovely. Thanks, mate. They always seem to go belly up as well.
Yeah,
I've had a lot going
belly.
belly up. They're so delicate. I think it's a bit of an act as well, though.
No, because I had one in the edge and I sort
They
of
look
scooped
like-
it back up and it just went mad in the net.
Yeah.
It's like it's obviously.
So I rested the swim, went down to the other end of the beat, and was getting fish pretty much a chuck. But then the trout all moved in, and it just got a bit irritating. So I've come back to the swim that I had the two 1.7s, and I've just had another 1.7. So whether it's the same fish 3 times, or whether it's, you know, peas in a pod and they're all very similar sort of size, it might be that. There's definitely more than one big fish in here because I can see all the fish. But I've just had another one as well. So let's have a quick look at that. I'm not going to weigh it. It's not as big as the 1.7s, but they're coming thick and fast, really. And it goes to show that just resting swim every now and again can really make a difference. There we go. Such soft, delicate little mouths. That's why I'm using small hooks and single maggots. But anyway, let's put this one back. It's behaving very well for me, so let's put it back before I'm tempting fate and it's going to start flapping around again. So, getting to the end of the day and completely lost count of how many grayling and trout I've caught. Lots and lots of trout. They're a bit of a pain when you're trying to target the grayling, like I said before, and I've lost a couple of decent fish. Probably grayling. Just generally the trout get absolutely crazy when you hook them, whereas the grayling are a little bit more civilised, but yeah, I've lost a couple of decent fish. So anyway, can I put this trout back? We're losing the light, and I've only got a few more casts, I'd imagine, for the rest of the day.